In the previous chapters, we have seen what are vibe coding and then when you need to use and when not use. So in that chapter, we have noticed this thing. Yeah, this is an sort of like an assistant interface. Behind this, it's a coding agent. Yeah, but this is just meant for coding. But what if you wanted to build agents for different purposes? Okay, so that's the thing we're gonna explain. So I need to show you an example of what is our agents, then maybe we go ahead and then see like what are really like agents. Okay, so if we see here, right? So previous, I mean before the world of AI, we used to have, when we click here we can like directly like chat with the people, or we had rules based chatbots. When you ask select like these, it provides you order status. When you select your for example your PNR status, you put your PNR and then it shows your status, but it's an input and versus an output. Yeah, so we moved from a human chat and then on top of that we had this rules based thing. Now in this last 2 years, as the models get evolved, now we have this conversational agents. Okay, conversational agents. In this conversational agents also we can subdivide them. What do you mean by subdivide them? So you're asking a question. Okay, let's say your support question, you're asking a question and it answers. Yeah, so and sometimes it also does its actions. That's what we're gonna see. So let's take example. So for example, let's take this. Here it says I'm looking for a warm jacket for hiking in a cold weather. So it says I'm looking for, then it says a warm jacket, and then it says it's for hiking, and then the scenario is like cold weather. This request, it gets routed to an AI model to get a reply, and then it provides these products. Yeah, how does this products comes here, or let, or how does a normal question it has been transferred into an answer? I mean AI can answer it, but like it need to know our business things. Yeah, I mean for example it need to know about our product catalog or our knowledge sources and all those things. And then sometimes maybe instead of the model answering its own way, maybe we wanted to answer it in our way, maybe some sort of polite you want, or some sort of funny way you want, or some maybe like a towards like a emotional thing you want. It depends on how the answer should be. Yeah, so you wanted to control all these things. So how can you do that? That's where you have this custom agent builder. So for example, Iryxo.ai, this is our product as well, which I'm going to explain. Instead of explaining the product itself, I'm going to explain the components of it. How does this agent builder works, and how, if you, let's say if you want to make one, that's a different topic, but like the components of agent building itself. Okay, so let me log in. I have already logged in. So let's take this agent. Okay, so I can build a new agent, but maybe we first go through the concepts, then we come to the UI. Okay, the concepts are, so the agent interface, which is this, is this. Okay, so this is the front end. Front end means like people chat or they send an audio to the agent and then it get back the result. Yeah, so it can be a natural language. I mean normally people can search via text, audio and image, for example in your search bar or something, and then in the agent interface as well. This is not part of our scope, let me remove it. So the natural language conversation, this is where the example I showed you, I'm looking for a winter cloth for like blah blah blah. So those things, it comes here, the prompt comes here, and then go to the interface. How does the agent interface prepare the answers? It, of course, it relies on the model for it to answer in a natural language, but it has something called knowledge source. Knowledge source is the one where This knowledge source can be anything. So for as I shared, let's say if it's a support bot, it can be just your docs or PDF or anything. Yeah, a lot of tools exist, you can do that. But let's say for e-commerce you need it. For e-commerce you need it, that means it's more into your support knowledge bases and also your product catalog. So the product catalog need to be uploaded into a system where it does the job of vectorization. That's a different jargon term, but just imagine this is a sort of like a method to convert a normal knowledge source PDF or catalog information into a language which is easier for an agent to identify. Okay, it's a bit technical. I will explain that in another term, but just assume that this is a model, or like a, not say model, this is a method or approach which is easier for to find they call it as the next similar or next closer. Based on the prompt, they identify the next closer or the next possible kind of like the catalog or the knowledge sources the user is asking. Okay, so just remember like that. And then this agent, because agent is not just a single conversation, yeah, each user can have a multiple conversation, so the agent need to store is different conversation. Why it need to store different conversation? Maybe today I came for a jacket, maybe tomorrow I came for a shoe or jean, then I may have a different conversation. Why a different conversation is important? It's because each conversation has its own objective or own nature. Today I came for a winter, maybe next month I came for some sort of like my sea surfing or something else, right? So you need to like, if you have a multi conversation, so the information is split, and then the information need to be stored, that's a memory, and then it has the context graph. What is context graph is that, so for example, context graph is not just the people what they are asking, so maybe it knows about previously, it has its own profile, I mean user profile, what is their age, or like what is their previous selections and all those things. So the context graph, how we can tell is that, I'm not sure whether it should be a separate box or it's like a combination of like this thing. Let me just send this to back. So it's I think this text need to, oh no, oh yeah, it's correct. I'm sorry for not doing this here. So let's just put this in a different color. So this context graph knows about the conversation, it knows about, because it stored the memory, and it knows about the user, the previous user behavior or what are the inputs they have made. Then only it can provide the right answer to the thing. Actually the context graph, it's like have all these things, then of course we need this conversation here as well. So then this data flows back to the respective conversation. Okay, so what are all the other things? So we have seen user asks the prompt, it routes through a model, and it finds I mean it's in the database, it's in the vector database, it's find the relevant things, it replies back. But before it replies back, it need to know about the user profile, what is their previous memory of the conversation, all those things. Then exactly, I mean like then personalized send back this thing. So actually we can say it's even this whole thing, the context graph need to handle all these things, they need to send a personalized stuff. Okay, now let's move on to the third thing. So I initially started with this, how they are, no sorry, first I started with the evolvement of the normal chat to an rule-based chatbots, and then third we came to this agent interface. Under this agent interface we had this natural conversation thing, then how it replies. Then I mentioned about the point, the politeness, the emotional, professional, all those things, right? This is where you need the system instruction to tell how the agent need to reply. So it tells to the model router, so it speaks that way. Yeah, and let's say you want to have additional skill to this agent. So for example, this For example, let's say this agent is for some analytical purpose, so there are some analytics, or let's say about your business information that you wanted to pump in, where for every conversation you need to always use that skill like a human skill. You need to have that skill under that agent interface as well. And then the another thing is that is an advanced thing is that the agent needs to have some sort of additional tool. Instead of just simply like reply and all those things, right, it can go and find a hotel for me and then reply me. Instead of maybe this hotel is not in the agent, is not part of the your agent, maybe it's a third party API. Yeah, then that's where you connect that MCP, and that provides that tooling where searching the hotel or searching the flight or searching, I'm just using all searching, but like any other thing. So use that tool. For example, let's take a finance, personal finance app. Maybe a bank, a forward thinking bank has its MCP. Banks usually don't provide, but I'm just saying, then this agent can pull in your expenses on this category, and then it provides your information. That's where you need this different MCP. So I will show you how do you like build it. So, or else because I have explained all the concepts, so I can also show you quickly like how you can build an agent as well. So for example, as I mentioned, you have your system instruction here. So this is your interface. So you have your system instruction here, the prompt messages. For example, I have here, show me a weekly grocery plan means, I'll show you. Let's take, okay, let's take, this is a let's say wholesale supplier finder. Users comes to you looking for a supplier for a commodity. You recommend them the proper supplier. Okay, show me chilies. Okay, this person, be professional. You are a B2B consultant. B2B, something like that. Okay, let me save this. I need to publish, I guess. Let's just go here. So here you have your, I'll not go here, I'll first show how you can test this. So let's open this. See here, the agent is here. I'm not sure whether I named it or not, but anyway, show me chili supplier. I mean, of course it will not work because we haven't done the product in, I mean like the supplier injection, because we only have the thing. But you see, right, this is how it works. So it can have, the agent can have multiple conversation, and so this conversation, you need to like see that conversation. So for example, you see here it shows like this data is here, and then it has this analytics, yeah, and knowledge sources. So this is where the knowledge sources. So I need to put my knowledge sources. So for example, I'm not sure whether this will work, but I'm just like trying, because my website has some sort of restriction as well. So I put this in, but if you are like adding a file or something, it's very straightforward. You can just simply add it, and then the agent will like process it. So it's processing. So I don't know how many elements it has processed. So this is how it works. So in summary, agents can converse with your customers, can do some search for them, can even fill the forms for people. So for example, not in this example, I can show in later. For example, if they like simply like upload an image, let's say you want them to, instead of filling a form, they simply upload some picture or something, then it auto fills and all those things, they can do it. So there are multiple use cases. You can think what agents can do it. It's all your creativity. But what your agent builder or your agent need is that it needs a connection to the MCP tools, so that's for third party thing. It need to store the conversation so we can analyze. It need to store the user profile so it provide a personalized conversation. And of course directly, of course, you need to connect with the model. Yeah, that's it. This is how all the agents builder works, and the components of the agents itself. If you have question, just let me know in the comments.